Hello and welcome to the 2014 Utica Home Track Series for your 10th race of the season at the Sonoma circuit in California. We are road racing and we are getting ever closer to the midway point of the schedule, which includes the All-Star Challenge. So now is the time to get back into the championship hunt. Before we get started, we want to mention this odd crash that happened in one of the qualifying sessions. Neil Evans and Thomas Beatty get together and results in both of them crashing down the pit lane. It was a rather odd incident. But as we show you the starting grid, let's get you caught up on the news in the Utica Home Track Series. Team Thunder has fallen on some hard times, and they have shut down one of their rides. The number 85 of Brendan Patterson will no longer be entered in the races from now on. Also, Connor Atwood was replaced with Paul Swanson, who used to run some races for them in the NASCAR Regional Pro Cup Series. Nothing has changed for William Duncan, however, though he is not qualified for today's event along with his teammate car, so they still struggle this far into the season. A couple of new drivers are making their debut appearances, one of them being Stacy Little Anderson IV. Another one attempted the event but was unable to qualify. That was Mark Holbert, who is running with the S3 Motorsports team. Final thing, Tuner Motorsports changed their lineup around a little bit. Angel Navarro moves to car number 49, and the 38 car is sold to the Daniel Voiles operation for American Racing. That's what's going on in the Utica Home Track Series. Let's go racing. On pole was Jake Williams, car number 0, who got the win at Montreal and has been showing great strength on these road courses as he has gotten the pole today. He's also a former Utica Rallycross Series driver who's had a lot of success there. He is on a single car team in the Dunkin' Donuts machine, and they're going to see if they can make it through the rest of the schedule, see if they can catch up on points and get toward the front of the pack. This is a good weekend for the Aurelio brothers. DHL Aurelio Racing has all 3 of its drivers in the field, including Chris Aurelio, who's sat out for most of these races. He's been trying to get back into the swing of things, but currently sitting 10th. That looks like a good run to me. Conrad Wilson's in the field in the 35, along with brother Michael Aurelio in the 34. We have a pass for the lead. Neil Evans, car number 55, the K&N machine, passes, but he gets into the sand, and he is going to lose it. Just as soon as he gets it, Jake Williams is going to keep the lead and lead lap number 1. Neil Evans is having a great run, and so is his son, Matt Evans, a former runner-up for the championship. He's really struggled this year and has missed most of the events. These road courses have been his solace as he's made the Montreal event. I believe he made the Most Sport event as well, and he's made it this week. So, trying to catch back up, car number 13 this week in the alternate paint scheme that they run on the road courses at ST Suspensions on board. We had our first incident on lap number 3. Car number 23, Luke Walker, makes it 3 wide underneath Skylar Dixon and Megan Atkins. That's going to collect a bunch of drivers, and a huge crash in turn number 1 sends the 23 car up on the embankment, as a lot of cars are trying to scurry to get around him. But that wasn't all. Another incident on lap number 4. Gabe Williams was a part of that group, racing with his brother PJ. He gets turned by his teammate and brother and sent off the racetrack. Gabe Williams not happy about that. It looks like they're going to have a little bit of discussion at the dinner table when they are done with this event, but Gabe Williams is going to lose a lot of positions. Another incident on lap number 4. Ryan Bush, going into his turn, is going to spin out along with Joey Beatty. Charles Jackson is going to go off track as well, whereas Joey Beatty was able to recover. Jackson and Bush get stuck there for a little bit before they can get back going, and even so, they would have to go down pit road. Anthony McCrory, car number 61. He has not had a very good season and has been struggling to make these events. He's finally in the field, and he's doing well. He currently sits 4th on track. He had a great start for the Montreal event, where he started on the pole, but wrecked out in turn number 2. So, up near the front, Jake Williams starting to pull ahead with the lead, but drives off the track. Here comes the 55 of Neil Evans. He's going to make that turn well. Side-by-side battle through the S's, and Neil Evans is going to take the race lead. Wait, Jake Williams still trying for it. Oh no, he's not done yet. Going into the hairpin. Williams dives it in hard, but a little too hard. He scrapes the wall, gets stopped right in his tracks, and that's going to give the lead to car number 55, Neil Evans, as Jake Williams loses all those spots. Neil Evans, only one victory in the Utica Home Track Series, and it came at the road course in Most Sport last year. He's hoping to get a second one today, and this could be a good opportunity for him. He's starting well, and he's running well in that 55 machine. He's happy with the race car, and ever since they made those adjustments after qualifying, they have been flying. Michael Aurelio does a little bit of the opposite of flying in the hairpin. As car number 34 slows down, it looks like they had an electrical issue on the 34 machine. They would bring it to pit road and get it fired back up, but he would lose a lot of time in that DHL machine, so not the way he was hoping things would go. We had another incident with car number 0 on lap number 7. Jake Williams, really slow, he's in the way, Dylan Young gets into him, and the 0 car is around again, so he's going to lose even more spots. Fortunately for Dylan Young, he's going to save it. As we take a look at car number 82, Annie Thomas, who has one of the best chances of dethroning Nicholas Guerra, who has missed the show this week. She sits in 24th at the moment, but the race is still young. She has a chance to move up. This has been the only American racing car to have a good run this year, as Daniel Boyles has struggled, not making a single points-paying event except for the Royal Rumble, which he won. And the 10 machine of Fitzwater has not been able to make a race since his debut at Utica Rome Speedway. So Annie Tom is trying to carry this team, and the 40 car is off track. Let's take a look at what happened here. Andrew Robinson gets punted off track by Jack Richards. And it looks like car number 40 is going to get stuck out there in the sand. He would try and get it out of there and lose a lot of time on track. Speaking of drivers that could dethrone Nicholas Guerra, John Cittadino could be one of them. He's having a great run in the 72 machine, sitting 11th place on track. John Cittadino has struggled for the past couple of years, ever since he got into that tussle with Matt Evans at Monaco in 2011. Things have gone downhill. Some people are calling it the Matt Evans curse that he's put on him. But John Cittadino has really picked it up this year. He is one of the favorites to win the championship. Nick Pericles, car number 43, having an exceptional effort in that 43 Oreo machine. He sits 3rd on track as he gets by car number 61. That's going to put him up into the 2nd place position. Pericles was not one for road racing, but ever since he ran the 24 Hours of Sebring, he has become an overnight road racing ace, and I mean that pun intentionally, overnight, for the 24-hour event. Let's take a look at one of the debut drivers, Ryan Raso, car number 99, which is a split paint scheme, much like the car behind it, Joshua Michaels. In fact, they're both split blue and pink machines, so what are the chances that both of them would have that kind of race car? But Ryan Raso was supposed to make his debut at the very beginning of the year. He ran in the Royal Rumble, but got injured. He has recovered from his injuries, and they have decided to field a 3rd car for him, which is basically a split between the 2 Minazuki rides. Raso currently sits 29th, which isn't especially good, but it is his first time back, and he's gone through a lot of recovery after that horrific Royal Rumble accident. We wish him the best for the rest of the schedule as he tries his best to get a good finish. In the 38 car, it's Stacy Little Anderson the 4th. That is a lot to say, but car number 38 on track right now. It's an unsponsored machine running for the American racing team. 34th at the moment, not what they were hoping for. I don't know a lot about this driver, but assuming by the last name Anderson, I think she has some relation to Tina Anderson III, who made some attempts earlier this year. Pit stops would occur on lap 15. Mostly a lot of the back markers would come down. A lot of drivers like Aurelio, Navarro, Robinson, and others make their way. Whoa! Ryan Raso almost gets turned by Joshua Michaels, but fortunately he's going to save it. Up near the front of the pack, though, there was some more ruckus being given. Nick Pericles would pass the 55 car for the race lead as they come to pit road. So Nick Pericles is going to take the race lead in that Oreo machine, as he's had a great car today. Neil Evans trying to get that edge off pit road, however. Looking a little close to the front, here's Harrison Langford, and he's had a very odd season. He started off being one of the few drivers that had not made a start as far in as race 7. But ever since he made that attempt at Mosport and made the show, he's been making the race consistently these past couple of weeks. And he's been getting some pretty decent finishes in this 21 machine, so He is doing especially well despite the Hyundai Yum team having some struggles in these past couple of weeks. Incident, lap 21. Courtney Miller has also showed her strength on the road courses. Makes some contact with Ryan Bush, who's coming off the pit lane. She backs that 17 car into the wall, and that's going to kill her effort, as she was hoping for another solid finish on the road course. She limps that car back in the racetrack, and I don't think that car's going to be going much faster for the rest of this event. There is the 31 of Jack Richards' car. Now, he is running as the teammate car, Charles Jackson, for Mayonnaise Racing. He's having a great effort today, coming off pit road. He is third on track at the moment. And despite that little on-track scuffle with the 40 of Andrew Robinson, it's been a pretty flawless day so far, so he could have something at the end of this event. Incident, lap 23. Stacy Little Anderson, the fourth, makes some contact with Megan Atkins and turns it around into the gravel. And unfortunately, she's going to get stuck too. She would need a tow out of there. Here comes Jack Richards, car number 31, past Neil Evans, who gets off track again. Neil Evans, they made an adjustment under the pit stop, and it doesn't look like it worked in their favor as he's been losing time. We haven't talked about Julian Kenneblas Jr. at all this year, as he's not really had many breakout performances. But Julian Kenneblas Jr. having a great effort today, 11th place at the moment for the Mexican driver. This has been a rather disappointing season for him, considering last year he was going for a championship. This year the JFI cars have struggled to make the show. But he's having a good run today in the 26 machine. He's hoping that things can start picking up for him. This is a track where he has done good before, so this is a good opportunity for him. Megan Atkins, car number 12. Poor season is getting worse as car number 12 is going to break down. I think they had a piston issue, and that's going to bring the 12 car to a halt in the S's. She would go out of the race, and that's a shame. That's the second Dollerton car to fall out of the show. Car number 43 is going to come up against lap traffic. There's Ian Dutta, who was involved with that first caution, and Jake Williams, who was the leader at one point. He's going to get around them with ease, however, so this is going to be a big problem for Jack Richards, who now has to navigate two vehicles to get to Nick Pericles, and look at that gap. Pericles having a great effort so far. Charles Sanford, car number 9, is going to come down pit road, unscheduled. I think he may be out of fuel. They are starting to cut it close. When they pitted, was about halfway, a little bit before, actually. So, we have to worry about the fuel mileage here. As Jack Richards has caught up to car number 27, he's trying to get by. Can he do it? Nick Pericles says clean air. He does not have to worry about any of the lab cars at the moment. Look at this in the hairpin. Diving move underneath both of them. And I think he's going to be successful as that zero car has not been very quick. I don't think he'll win the drag race on the actual drag strip portion of the course. There's the Brazilian driver of Matheus Paiva. 13th on track. He missed the race last week, and I think the week before that, but he's back this week with a solid top 20 effort. He's hoping to make it inside the top 10. He's got a little bit of time to do it, but he's got to really hustle, as he's got to catch up to that 90 car. He's got a couple car lengths ahead of him. Paiva not really going for a championship as he came in a little late, but having a decent effort today. There's Andrew Robinson, car number 40, mechanical issue. That is just going to spit in his face, as this has been an awful day for the 40 machine, along with an awful season after starting it off so well, with a great finish at Bristol. Neil Evans, car number 55, is going to pit from third place. He is out of fuel. He's been trying to catch up to the leader and used up his entire tank, so this is going to backfire for the 55. Car number 57 of Alan Tanker, we haven't talked about much today, but he's doing relatively well. 7th place on track. The Tanker Motorsports cars have not made a lot of noise, but Alan Tanker having a great effort so far today as he's caught up to the lap car of Jake Williams. His next target is Matt Evans, but he's got to navigate another car before he gets there. Another driver with a really good run, Ryan Estebomi, 3rd place. Estebomi was having a pretty crummy season, but once he got into Gabriel Montoya's car, he started to do a lot better. Last week at Daytona went swimmingly for the Ford machine. Now he's hoping that the rest of the season can keep this consistent. He's stuck behind a lap car at the moment. Looks like he's not going to be able to challenge for the win. but at least he can pat himself on the back for a great effort in that 4 car. One more incident on lap 33. Matheus Paiva gets passed by Andy Thomas, runs it wide, tries to merge back in, clips Brock McMahon, and both of them go into the wall. Paiva was starting to gain some position. Watch out for Ryan Bush, as Bush has been at the tail end of almost every incident today. Close call for Paiva, but it could have been a lot worse for both of these drivers. At least they're going to get the finish. Nick Pericles passes by the pit road entrance. He is good on fuel. He's been fast, but conservative. Coming to the line, Nick Pericles. He's not a road racer, but I think he is now. He wins his first career Utica Home Track Series race in the Oreo machine. Great job for Nick Pericles. This team has struggled a lot this year. They lost what was considered their best driver, Skylar Dixon. But now he can tell Skylar, at least our team has a win under our belts. Nick Pericles, a winner here in Sonoma. Let's take a look at your race results. Pericles was your winner. He gets 5 extra bonus points in the Rookie of the Year battle. Then followed by Jack Richards, Ryan Asabomi, Harrison Langford, and Anthony McCurry for an all-rookie top 5. Matt Evans, a great effort in 6th place, followed by Alan Tanker, Julian Kendall-Bliss Jr., Thomas Beatty, and John Ciadino rounding out your top 10. Great effort for those guys. Nicky Allen in 11th place, followed by Annie Thomas with another good run. Chris Aurelio in 13th, followed by Australian Adam Kendrick, Dylan Young, Brock McMahon, Brazilian Matheus Paiva, Courtney Miller, who actually was able to bring it back together for an 18th place, Joshua Michaels, and Angel Navarro in 20th. Then we had Ryan Raso in the 21st position, followed by Joseph Bryant. Then PJ Williams and Gabe Williams. They always seem to finish near each other. Ray Takeda in 25th place, followed by Cassandra Renzi, Skylar Dixon, Charles Jackson, Jock Robinson, and Dustin Capps rounding out your top 3. And I'm surprised we didn't talk about Cassandra Renzi more. This is the kind of track she would excel at. Sanford was the last car in the lead lap. Neil Evans fell a lap down, followed by Joey Beatty, Ian Dutta, Luke Walker, and Michael Aurelio. Stacy Little Anderson, the 4th, was 2 laps down with Jake Williams. Ryan Bush was 3 laps down. Andrew Robinson pulled out of the event. Megan Atkins fell out of the race, and Conrad Wilson also fell out of the race, but we are not sure exactly the cause. We didn't see anything on our cameras that would have suggested anything went wrong. They just had some issue. Here are your points, and Annie Thomas has a huge lead now, finally toppling Nicholas Guerra. They're followed by John Ciadino, Ray Takeda, and then a bunch of drivers who didn't compete this week. Togger, Minazuki, Samaniego, Dollerton, Robinson, and then Justin Capps in 10th. Let's take a look at the drivers. Outside looking in, Joseph Bryant, Jack Richards is going to move up heavily in the points, followed by Henry Nova, Michael Aurelio, Sam Young, Joshua Michaels, Megan Curley, Neil Evans, William Duncan, and Jeffrey Fingate. You can tell that the leader, Andy Thomas, has a huge lead as she has about 100 points over 10th place. Now let's take a look at your Rookie of the Year standings, and look at this. Andy Thomas's rookie points are higher than most of the other drivers' regular season points. Huge lead over Joseph Maniego. They're followed by Minazuki, Dollerton, Richards, Nova, Germain, Miller, Sanford, and lastly, Nick Pericles, who works his way into the top 10. Well, that does it for this week. Next week, we're going to Indianapolis, the Brickyard, for the last race before the All-Star Challenge and for the race that's going to be the halfway point of our season. So thank you for watching this week. We hope you see you next week. So long.